So, very good morning, students. Welcome to IIT NEET Foundation or Focus C program by Krishnaveni Talent Schools and the Mastermind Schools. So, once again, I welcome all class 6th students for today's session. As you all can see on the screen, and you are well aware, my subject is physics. We are in class 6th, our ongoing chapter, that is chapter number 6, light. And today we are entering into the session number 3, means class number 3 on light. So far we completed 2 classes on knowing about the concepts of heat, right? So we'll continue where we left in the last class. But before that, we'll completely recall what we learned in earlier class. So we started learning about what is light, right? Then there are terms related to light. There are so many terms you learn related to light, like point source of light, ray of light, beam of light, parallel beam of light, converging beam of light, diverging beam of light. All these things related to light only, right? So the direction which light is traveling is ray of light. Group of ray of lights together are called beam of lights. If those beam of lights are parallel to each other, they are called parallel beam of light. If all the beam of light starting from same point, they're moving to other directions, they are called diverging beam of light. If all the parallel beam of lights coming from different places and meeting at one point, they are called converging beam of light. All these are related to when light comes. You know, light is a form of energy which makes the sensation of vision. So we cannot imagine our life without light, because we cannot do in darkness. Either it may be daytime solar light or nighttime our light from the various types of sources. Then we learn about few more substances like transparent substances, translucent substances, opaque substances, homogeneous medium, heterogeneous medium, all the materials which are available in around us. It may be book or paper or metals or plastic or rubber or diamond. All these materials are classified how they behave in like presence of light. All they are classified, right? They are the various types of, you can call them as, they are classified as various types of mediums. In that, the materials which allows the light to pass through them completely, they are called transparent substances or transparent medium. There are some materials like oil paper, butter paper. They does not allow complete light to pass. They allow partial. The material medium which allows the light to pass through them partially are called translucent mediums. Translucent. And another is there like stone, wood. They does not allow light to pass through them. They are called opaque mediums. All these mediums will have importance in our day-to-day life. Everything is useful in our day-to-day life. But they are identified. They are classified into various categories. Okay. So these things we learn and also introduce about the very important property of the light called reflection. So today we are going to discuss about more details about the reflection, laws of reflection, terms related to reflection, followed by the shadow. Very important explanation about shadow and images. What is the difference between shadow and image also? Okay. So you move to the next part of the chapter where. So these all things we learned. What we learned in the last class? The basics. What is light? Luminous bodies, non-luminous bodies. So there are some bodies which emits the light by themselves, which are called luminous bodies. So there are some bodies which does not allow the light by themselves, but they are can be seen by reflection of light, are called luminous, non-luminous bodies. Right. Then these all things we have seen: speed of light, terms related to light. All these we covered in the last session, and terms related to this also. Very important. This is when you study about the reflection. Reflection is nothing but returning back of light. When light strikes opaque medium, opaque is very important. Reflection of light is related to opaque medium. Why? Because it does not allow the light to pass. Right? Opaque medium is very, very important here. We cannot see this property in transparent or translucent. When any light falls on the material which does not allow the light to pass through them, like opaque, either glass or wood, iron, after striking, so see, we are incidentally like this torchlight. After striking the mirror, it is returning back. So this is called reflection. Returning back of light or bouncing back of light into its original medium is called reflection. Where we have seen the terms related to reflection also in the last class, like incident ray. So this is called incident ray, number 1. Right. So point of incidence, this is called point of incident, where the light falls. Where we are focusing the light onto the mirror is point of normal. Normal is nothing but a perpendicular drawn from the point of incident. Reflected ray, this is the reflected ray. C, right? Normal is third one or is the fourth one. So all these are the terms related to the property reflection. Okay. Very, very important. Based on this one, you can define the law. Then angle of incident. So angle made by a reflected ray with normal. When you are focusing a light into the glass mirror, what is the angle made by this light with glass? Surface of the glass. Okay, that is normal. There is perpendicular light with a normal. The angle made by the incident ray with normal is called angle of incident. But after returning back, this reflector ray will make some angle with the normal. That is called angle of incident, reflection. Right. Then glazing angle, very interesting again. See here, very, very important in the reflection. Suppose say this is a mirror, right? It draw perpendicular. This is called normal. Normal. We are incidenting one light here on mirror. So direction towards the mirror. This is called incident ray, I. And this is called reflected ray, R. So the angle made by incident ray with normal is called angle of incident. So after reflection, the angle made by the reflected ray with normal is called angle of reflection. And same angle made by incident ray with the mirror, surface of the mirror, this part, right, is called glazing angle or glazing angle of reflection. Glazing angle of reflection. Glazing angle of incident and glazing angle of reflection. This is angle here. This made angle with normal is called angle of incident. Angle made with the by same incident ray with the mirror or with the source is called glazing of incident, glazing of reflection. See, this total is 180. The angle made by the mirror with normal is 180 degrees. In that, this is one angle, this is one angle. Very interesting. Okay. So in last class, we have seen the video also that there are two types of reflections are there. Reflections are of two types. Either it may be regular reflection or irregular reflection. You can see the figure there. So all rays are incident parallel, perfect distance. The parallel, even reflected rays also perfect. So they are upward direction. They are reflected rays, arrow like this. They are incident rays towards the this. See, all are perfectly parallel to each other. So as all the rays are parallel, that is incident rays and reflected rays. Incident rays and reflected rays are parallel are called regular reflection because the surface is very smooth. So on smooth surface, we can find the regular reflection. Smooth surface, soft and polished mirror. When you see second diagram, even though the incident rays are parallel to each other, incident rays are parallel, but you see the reflection. Reflection is irregular because the surface is rough. When light falls on smooth surface or polished surface, the reflection is called regular reflection. When light falls on irregular surface or rough surface, the reflection of light is called irregular reflection. Regular and irregular reflection, or is also called as diffuse reflection. Irregular reflection is also called diffused. Right? These are the two types of reflections we know. Up to that, we learned even in last class also. Once again, I repeat revise it. See here. After observing that, observing all the terms, we came to one conclusion. The conclusion about all the terminology of reflection is called as law of reflection. So what this law says is there are three laws are there. One, angle of incident is always equal to angle of reflection. Very, very, very important. Whenever light falls on opaque body, with what angle you are focusing, with what angle light is, see here. So this is angle of reflection, angle of incident, and this is angle of reflection. For a given ray of light, angle of incident is always equal to angle of reflection. That is the first law of reflection. Angle I is equal to angle R. Angle I is equal to angle R, always. The second one is angle, that is incident ray, reflected ray, and normal. This is normal. This is normal. All three lie on same plane. All three lie on same plane. Always. Whenever there is a regular reflection or irregular reflection, incident ray, normal, and reflected ray lie on same plane. They lie. Right? Always the same plane. You can see here, all three are in same plane. This is a plane mirror. So all three are in same plane. Always. That is second law. Third law says that incident ray and reflected ray, this is incident and reflected, always on the either sides of the normal. Either sides means normal always comes in the middle only. Normal is always comes in the middle. Always comes in middle. One side you can find incident ray, other side you can find reflected ray. Clear? Means these three together called as laws of reflection. What called? Laws of reflection. So angle of incident is always equal to angle of reflection. Incident ray, reflected ray, and normal always lies on same plane. Incident ray on reflected ray or on the either sides of the normal. On either sides of the normal. This is a clear observation you can make from this figure also. This diagram also. Clearly you can see. Right? So see, incident ray, reflected ray, and normal in the middle. Correct? So this angle is always same. and all three are in the same plane, and you can see the normal is always in the middle. On either sides of the normal, there is a incident and reflect. Left side incident ray, right side reflected ray. Clear? That is all three laws together called as laws of reflection. That is given here. Now we enter to the another interesting word, shadow. What is shadow? You know, everybody. Everyone know what is shadow. We can find when you are walking in the morning in sunlight, we can see our own shadow. Morning, our shadow looks with some length. When come to the 12 o'clock, midday, we cannot see our shadow. So there are various reasons are there. Okay, see here. What is shadow? How shadow is formed? What are the conditions for the formation of shadow? These shadows you can see in the nature also. Solar eclipse, moon or lunar eclipse. All these are formed due to the formation of shadow only. Formation of shadow of moon or earth. Right? We'll see. What is shadow? An area of darkness formed by an opaque object again. Opaque object obstructing the light is called shadow. When any opaque body obstruct the light. So our human body is opaque. It does not allow the light to pass through us. So when you are obstructing the sunlight coming in particular direction, as we are opaque body, our shadow is forming on the earth surface. Simple, try to understand. An area of darkness formed by an opaque object. Opaque means which does not allow the light to pass through them. Object obstructing the light. It is coming in the path of light. Right? You can see here. Very clear diagram is given here. See? So this is the light, torch light. Right? Torch. Source. This is the opaque object. Right? Opaque object. Whenever light falls on opaque object, as it is not allowing the light to form, this image is forming here in the form of darkness. This is the image, shadow. Right? Clear? So, whenever any opaque object obstruct the light or come in the path of the light, and that image of that shadow of that particular object forms on the backside in the form of darkness. Such an area of darkness is called shadow. Clear? You clearly explained the formation of shadow. When light is fall on opaque object, a dark patch like this is a dark patch formed on the other side of the object. If a screen is present on the other side, you can place one screen and you can catch the shadow. If screen is not there, you cannot see. When you place the screen, this is a screen, right? When you place the screen behind the opaque object, that opaque object shadow is formed on the screen. A darkness is formed. Okay? See here. The following are the three things required for the shadow to form. One is source of light, like torchlight. Second one is an opaque object here, either wood or iron or metal. Okay. Third one is a screen or a surface behind the object. So these three are compulsory for the formation of shadow. One is source of light, from where light is coming out, either torchlight or a candle or a bulb, anything. Second one is object which is coming in the path of light. It should be opaque object. We cannot take any transparent or translucent. And third one is screen, beyond the object, to catch the darkness, catch the shadow. These three are basic requirements. See here, wonderful simple experiment you can do at home. Table lamp. Suppose when you are reading at home, you may have table lamps. Nowadays we are not finding, but once upon a day these are very useful for study. For example, if suppose a person will have only one room, They used to read in one room only. Single room, mother, father, brothers, everybody will be there in the same room. We cannot switch on the light to read. What they will do? They used to use table lamps. They used to purchase table lamps. It's a wonderful gift in those days, in our days. If anybody want to give the gift to the student, they used to give the table lamp. Why? Because sitting on table, you can switch on only that particular lamp and you can read. Nowadays, it is completely vanished because everybody will have a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, like 2-bedroom at least, right? So this see here, when table lamp, switch on the table lamp, place your hand against it. Your hand shadow is forming in the bottom. So this is the source. The second one is the opaque object, and third one is the shadow. Simple. Everywhere you can see the shadow. In our day-to-day life, at least so many times you can see. Why? Because of this one. Whenever an opaque object coming in the path of light or obstructing the light, shadow is formed in the form of darkness. Shadow is of same color. There is no colors for shadow. You may be white color. You may be looking in white color or black color. You may be super white also. Your shadow is always black. Remember. Your shadow is your friend's shadow. Same. It's only a shadow. Shadow is black only, darkness. You may be thin. You may be fat. Right? You may be so height. You may be short. No matter. The shadow is always a black in color. If you wear any kind of dresses, your shadow looks only darkness. So, clear. So, shadow is formed when source of light is obstructed by the opaque object. This something is given finally. Characteristics of shadow. A shadow is followed. One is shadow or colorless. It is always black. Shadow gives information about the shape of the object. However, your shape, the same shape will fall on the screen. Suppose if it is a ball, we get round. If it is your human being, you can find like this. Complete black color. Depends. If it is a rectangle, rectangle only forms square. Rectangle, rectangle, triangle, triangle, dark current triangle. Means it looks like as it is shape. No change in shape. But color, always black. The size of shadow varies depending on the distance between the object and the source of light. Suppose, very interesting point is this. Here there is a torchlight is there, right? Source of light. Here is the object. Here is the screen. The size of shadow, it depends. Suppose it's like this first, when the distance is this much. But whenever you move the either source or object, as the distance changes, your size also changes. See here, as the sun comes from the morning, early morning, from rising to 12 p.m., 12 noon, our size of our image, shadow also changes, right? So, when ray of light diverges from the point, that is a different concept, right? So, and the source of light and distance between the object and the screen. Totally, there are 3 objects are there. How the distance changes? When distance increases, shadow size decreases. When distance decreases, shadow size increases. Either you are moving source or object or screen. With movement of all 3, we can see the change in the image. Okay, so this is about the shadow. Shadow is a darkness of an object formed when opaque object is obstruct the path of light. Right? Minimum basic 3 things are required for formation of shadow. One is source of light, one is opaque object, third one is screen. Shadow is colorless, always black. Shadow gives information about the shape of the object. The size of the shadow varies depending on the distance between source, opaque object and screen. Clear? That's all about the shadow. So before going for the next topic, that is about the concept of image. Generally, we feel that shadow and images are same, but difference is there. We'll discuss. But before that, let me show you one video on the object, that is shadow.
Light travels in a straight line. When an opaque object comes in front of the light, it blocks the light and forms a dark patch called a shadow.
See, how interesting. Whenever sunlight falls on tree, you can see it everywhere. Generally, sometimes in midsummer, what we'll do? We'll go and stand near the tree because there is a shadow will be there. How shadow is forming? Because the tree is the opaque object. Whenever it's obstructing the sunlight, it is forming the shadow. We can go and stand there to avoiding from the sunlight, right?
Shadow is always formed on the opposite side of the light. When we block sunlight, the shadow of our body is formed. When we move, our shadow moves along with us. Conditions required for the formation of shadows. For the formation of shadow, we need to have three things. They are, a source of light, an opaque object, a surface on which...
Surface is nothing but screen. See, when you are observing all these things, you can tell to your parents also. You can explain your parents what is the physics beyond that. Why you are getting our shadow. Why you are getting the shadow of any object. Definitely your parents will feel very happy. Means our everyday life, there is a physics. Thing is, you have to observe that. You have to apply. Right? So shadow is a common.
Which the shadow would form. In this example, the torch is the source of light, and the ball is the opaque object. The shadow of the ball is formed on the screen. Characteristics of shadows. Shadows are formed only when a source of light is present. Shadows are always formed on the opposite side of the source of light. A shadow is always black in color. It does not show the color of the object. A shadow does not show the details of an object. It only shows the outline. The size and clarity of the shadow depends on size of the object and the source of light. Distance between the object and the source. Distance between the object and the surface. When we go outside, the length and position of our shadow in sunlight is different at different times of the day. The sun appears to move across the sky from morning to evening. Accordingly, the shape and the length of the shadows.
See, different timings. Morning, it will come full tree like this. Shadow you see. Midday, when you come to 12 noon, how is the shadow you can see. And at the evening time when set, how the shadow is seen. So the shadow, as the sunlight direction
change as well.
Shadow also.
Shadows are longest in the morning, and also shadows are longest in the late afternoon. Shadows are shortest at afternoon, when the sun is overhead.
So everything see in a simple video, the total of what we discussed till now about shadow is clearly explained. Correct? Everything explained in single video. Simple way. What is shadow? What are requirement of shadow? What are the characteristics of shadow? And how shadows are forming. In a simple way. Correct or not? Okay. Right? Then we'll come to the next one. Image. Concept of image. So when you suppose when you are standing in front of the mirror, we can see our image, own image. You can see as ever you are, not like a shadow. It is not like a shadow because shadow is always in colorless or black in color. But image, however you are, your image also same only. Whatever the dress, color dress you can wearing, you can form the same color. Why? Because here difference is shadow is formed by the opaque object, whereas image is formed by the transparent object. When light passes through, then only you can find the image. See here. When ray of light diverging from the point after reflection either actually meet or appears to meet, then this point is called as image. So, whenever light passes through the object, it may meet at one point, it may diverging or converging, they'll meet at one point, or they appears to meet. Then only you can get the images. Okay. The point of interaction of reflected ray is called image. Where these all beam of lights go and meet, where they are interacting, such a point is called image. Right? Image is of same height. Suppose you are 5.510, your height also, your image also same 510 only. Anytime, either morning or afternoon or evening, not like shadow. It won't change. Whatever color you are, same color will be image. Whatever height you are, same color. Your dress color is same. No change in the image, like, right? So there are two types of images are there, you can see. In details about these images, we'll see in the next class. So see, what I am taking, suppose I am here is a virtual image. Your teacher in classroom is a real image. If you want, you can catch your teacher. You can ask your doubts, you can clarify. But you cannot catch me. You cannot catch me because I am virtual. That's why the virtual classes will call it as. What is virtual classes? Somebody sitting in some place, 100 or 1000 kilometers and teaching you. You cannot catch him. That's why it's a virtual image. I am virtual image. Teacher in your classroom is a real image, which you can catch. So in next class, we'll see how this real image is formed, how this virtual image is formed, what is the reason behind the formation of images, difference between them. Further, we'll close the chapter in the next section, right? So see, a very wonderful, what is the characteristics of plane mirror. So many things we'll discuss. Some interesting devices like kaleidoscope, periscope. In science fair, you can prepare like pinhole camera. Okay, see here, wonderful. We'll add this in the next science center also. Different types of kaleidoscope, pinhole camera is wonderful. A camera without lens. Okay. So till then, next class will complete the what is images, what are the types of images, what is pinhole camera, what is periscope, what is kaleidoscope. All these are depends on only the image formation because of the regular continuous reflection. Right? So that's all for today. We learned so many things today about the light and about the reflection, about the shadow, about the interaction part of image, right? So once you go through, take some time per day to go through the concept and solve the levels. But whenever you complete the syllabus, within maybe hardly 1 month, you'll complete the syllabus for your class. Then we'll make you to practice the levels in the online classes. We'll practice all the question answers of all the chapters before completion of your grand test, right? So that's all for today. Thank you, students. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.